Sometimes life breaks you in the quietest places, far from the noise of boardrooms, schedules, and expectations. Sometimes the deepest cracks appear where no one can see them. And on one cold, gray afternoon in a nearly empty park, a powerful CEO, someone the world believed had everything, sat alone on a bench, holding his face in his hands, trying not to fall apart. But life has a way of sending kindness when we least expect it, and from the last person we ever imagine. And that day, kindness arrived in the soft voice of a little boy holding a cup of melted ice cream. Before we continue, if you enjoy heartwarming stories that remind you of the goodness still left in the world, make sure to subscribe to Kindness Tales, hit the like button, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us keep spreading love, hope, and stories that touch the heart. Now, let's begin our story. His name was Michael Turner. In the business world, his name meant power, success, and precision. People described him as a man who always knew exactly what he wanted and exactly how to get it. He had built a massive tech company from the ground up. He had become the kind of person others looked up to, someone young entrepreneurs dreamed of becoming. But what no one saw, what no newspaper ever printed, was that Michael Turner was also a man who went home every day to an empty apartment and ate dinner at a table set for one. His entire life, Michael believed that if he worked hard enough, if he climbed high enough, happiness would eventually catch up to him. But the higher he climbed, the lonelier he became. By the age of 49, he had everything except the one thing he'd secretly longed for: a family. Someone to care for. Someone who cared for him beyond the profit he could generate or the deals he could close. And on this particular afternoon, he had just left the hospital after receiving news that shook him. His mother, the only close family he had, was now in critical condition. A sudden stroke. The doctors said they'd do everything they could, but Michael could hear the uncertainty behind their calm voices. He left the hospital in a daze, walking without direction until he reached a small park 2 blocks away. He sat down on a cold wooden bench, loosened his tie, and silently cried, something he had not allowed himself to do since he was a teenager. He wasn't just crying for the fear of losing her. He was crying for all the years he'd missed. The birthdays he skipped. The calls he cut short. The holidays he didn't have time to visit. He had been too busy becoming someone great for the world, and not great enough for the person who loved him most. He felt broken in a way he couldn't explain. That was when he felt a gentle tap on his knee. "Hey, mister, are you okay?" Michael wiped his eyes quickly, embarrassed. In front of him stood a little boy, maybe 6 or 7 years old, with bright brown eyes and a jacket that looked a size too big. He was holding a dripping ice cream cone, most of the ice cream already sliding down his fingers. Yet he smiled like nothing else mattered in that moment. I'm fine," Michael lied. "Just allergies." The boy tilted his head. "My mom says people say that when they're really sad." Michael let out a breathy, unplanned laugh, the first sound of relief he had made all day. "Your mom's pretty smart." "She is," the boy said proudly. "She fixes everything. Even my Lego ship when I broke it yesterday. And she said sometimes grown-ups just need someone to sit with them." The boy climbed up on the bench beside him without asking, swinging his small legs. Michael glanced around. "Where's your mom?" The boy pointed toward a woman with curly hair sitting at a picnic table, packing sandwiches into little lunchboxes. She looked tired but peaceful, someone who carried warmth without even trying. "That's her," he said. "She's making lunches for the shelter. We bring food there every Saturday." Michael nodded slowly. "That's a good thing to do." "Yeah, but I got ice cream 'cause I helped carry the bags." He paused, then looked up at Michael with sudden concern. "Do you want some? You look like you need something sweet." Michael shook his head. "That's very kind, but it's okay." The boy frowned at him like he didn't quite believe him, then said softly, "Mister, why are you crying?" The directness of the question struck something deep inside him. He didn't know how to explain a lifetime of distance, regret, and fear to a child. But maybe he didn't need to. "My mom is sick," he whispered. The boy's eyes widened, and without thinking twice, he placed his small sticky hand on top of Michael's much larger one. "Oh," he said in a tiny, sincere voice. I'm sorry. I don't want you to be sad. Michael's throat tightened again. This child, this complete stranger, was offering more comfort than anyone had in years. Then the boy said something that knocked the air right out of him. If you want, you can borrow my mom for a little bit. Michael blinked. What? You can borrow her, the boy repeated with total innocence. She always makes me feel better. She hugs real good. And she listens. She can help you too. Michael didn't know how to respond. He looked at the boy, about to gently decline, when the boy suddenly jumped off the bench and ran toward his mother. Mom! Mom! This man needs you! The woman looked up, surprised. She hurried over, wiping her hands on her jeans. Sweetheart, what oh? She stopped when she saw Michael's tear-stained face. Sir, are you all right? She asked softly. I'm sorry, Michael said, standing quickly. I didn't mean to bother. You're not bothering anyone, she said. My son says you could use someone to talk to. Michael swallowed hard. Your son is very kind. He has a big heart, she said, smiling at the boy who was now trying to chase a squirrel. Would you like to sit? Just for a moment? Michael hesitated, but something in her voice, something calm, steady, motherly, made him nod. They sat on the bench while she listened. She didn't interrupt. She didn't judge. And as the words poured out of him, his mother's stroke, his regrets, his loneliness, he realized how desperately he had needed this. Someone human. Someone patient. Someone who cared simply because she believed people should care about each other. When he finally finished, she placed a gentle hand on his arm. You love your mother, she said. That's clear. And love doesn't disappear because you made mistakes. You still have time. Go to her. Be with her. Talk to her. Don't let fear stop you from loving her the way your heart wants to. Her words were so simple yet so powerful that Michael felt something shift inside him. The boy climbed back onto the bench and leaned against him. See? Told you she makes people feel better. Michael looked at them, this little family he had never met, and felt a warmth he hadn't felt in years. A warmth that told him kindness still existed in the world, even when life felt the darkest. Thank you, he whispered. Both of you. Any time, the woman said. And if you ever need a place to breathe, we're here every Saturday. Michael stood up, feeling lighter than when he had arrived. He reached into his wallet, pulling out a business card. This is who I am, he said quietly. The woman read the card, her eyes widening. You're the Michael Turner? He nodded. But today. I'm just a man who's grateful your son didn't walk past me. The boy wrapped his arms around Michael's waist in a sudden hug that nearly brought him to his knees. Go help your mom, the boy said. She needs you. Michael hugged him back. I will. And he did. He returned to the hospital with a new sense of purpose. He held his mother's hand, stayed at her bedside, apologized for the years he'd been absent, and promised her he would fix what he had broken, not with money, but with time, patience, and love. She survived the stroke. And from that day on, Michael visited her every evening. He didn't miss a single holiday, birthday, or simple Sunday afternoon. He even went back to the park on Saturdays, bringing sandwiches and helping the boy and his mother deliver food to the shelter. He became part of something human, something meaningful, something he didn't even know he needed. And every time he saw the boy would grin and shout, Mom! Look! Your other son is here. Michael would laugh, realizing that kindness doesn't just heal, it connects. It builds families out of strangers. It saves people in ways money never could. Because sometimes, the smallest act of kindness, a tap on the knee, a melting ice cream cone, a child's sincere heart, can change a life forever. And sometimes, the words of a little boy can remind a grown man that he is never truly alone. Kindness is powerful. Kindness is healing. Kindness is what makes us human. So the next time you pass someone who looks like they're carrying the weight of the world, remember. You never